Hey guys, this is Leonard with Indie Band Coach, and I just wanted to come on real quick and just share a few things as I have been um, behind the scenes just creating some content and different things. And I've made a conscious decision not to just go off and create a bunch of stuff without sharing things as I'm in the process of doing. So this video, I'm actually want to share 3 live stream ideas that you can use to actually connect with your fans. Hey, Kimberly. And yeah, if you're here, just drop me a hashtag live if you're watching live. If you're watching this on replay, give me a hashtag replay. But one of the things I didn't want to do is just go off and make all the stuff and then not actually create things that you can use as they're in the process, because it doesn't have to be some long drawn out course. It doesn't have to be some, master class. These are things that you can use today. So what I wanted to share with you, hey Scott, is to actually think about Facebook Live or thinking about doing live streams. Video right now is and has been the best way to actually reach your fans and connect with your fans. One of the reasons I'm actually choosing video to do this as opposed to just a post. But as performers, it can be difficult I know it's difficult for me to think about how natural and how comfortable I felt on stage, actually seeing the people and actually seeing, your faces and all of that. And it's a lot different dynamic when you're thinking about actually doing a Facebook Live or doing video and you're actually, staring at a dot. So one of the things that I wanted to do is help break down that barrier, not with just ideas, but actually practical things that you can do and practical ways that you can share your stories, because you've got stories to share. They might seem old, your processes might seem mundane to you, but your fans and your followers would be more than happy to know what those are. In fact, that's why they tune in. That's why we tune in and we binge watch these shows, is because people are telling stories. So in this video, I want to give you 3 ideas, 3 stories that you can tell, and actually a way that you can get a template for these as well. So Facebook or live streaming just in general. The first idea that is going to be something that you can share really well is going to be a thank you post. And the thank you post, or saying thank you and showing gratitude, is one of the most common ways that you can actually start to build community. Hey, AC. Um, you can start to build community. So with the thank you post, what you want to do, one way that you can structure this is, if you want to jot this down, but a thank you post, literally you could start off with, I want to thank, this person, this fan, or maybe it's a group of people, maybe it's a few people. I want to thank blank for always having my back. Thank you for supporting me in blank. And just say thank you. Just, there's people out there that are helping you. There's people out there that are supporting in whatever way that they can. And if you can just go live and just talk to that person, don't worry about performing, while you're doing this, in terms of like being on and trying to make sure everything is perfect and all of that. Just sincerely use social media what it was intended for, and that is, creating conversations and starting conversations. So that thank you post, I want to thank so-and-so for blah, blah, blah. I want to thank you for always having my back, or always showing up at the gig, or always whatever it is for you. Okay. So thank you post, thank you video, thank you live. That's a really easy one. Okay. The second one is a process post. And a process post, again, as I mentioned at the beginning, we might think that all of the stuff that we do to get ready for a show or to create our songs or whatever it is pretty mundane and boring. But if it's something that you have not shared, or if it's something that you haven't actually participated in a process or whatever, it could seem very intriguing to you. So think about a process post, and you might start it off with something like, hey, I just wanted to come on and let you guys know, or just share with you guys as I was doing something, but, here's how I blank. Here's how I get ready for a show. Here's how I prepare for a studio session, or here's where I usually get my inspiration for writing songs, or here's how I usually start, writing a song. whatever that process is. And here's the thing, you've probably got a lot of processes that you don't think are processes. But a process doesn't have to be something that you physically do. What's up, Steve? A process doesn't have to be something that you physically do. It can also be a thought process. Like, how do you make your set list on a regular basis? So you can literally just go on, and one of your topics can be, hey, here's how I blank. Here's how I actually come up with, the songs that we're going to do for the course of a night. In our example, every band is different, but, we were a band, and I was basically the song caller, and we actually had um, a talkback mic on the stage. So my microphone, literally there's my microphone that I sang in, and then right next to it was a talkback mic. And throughout the course of the night, I would actually call all of the songs. I had a music stand, and on the music stand was our entire song list, and we had our medleys and all that stuff grouped. So it looked like I was looking at lyrics, but I wasn't. I was looking at songs. But basically, I would take a glance at the songs, and before one song was over, I knew that we were going to have a stop. I would literally just go into the talkback mic, and we were all on in-ear monitors, so there was no actual monitors on stage, so the crowd or anybody couldn't hear what we were saying. But I would call out the next medley or call out the next song, and we did 3 hours straight with no breaks at all. And we got to that point over the course of years, and we got to that point because I used to make all these set lists, and we'd come and have them on paper, and we'd follow them, and we'd get to the point in the night where I had called the slow song, and the song right before the slow song is when people actually started to dance. Come on, seriously? So, as opposed to, I cleared the floor a couple of times early on, but after following, interesting. Do you guys see, am I blocked due to poor internet connection? Come on, man. Can you guys still see me? Okay. Am I live now? Let me go on Facebook here. So yeah, my screen says that I'm stopped, but if you still see me, let me know, Kim. Because if you do, I'll just keep going. But yeah, let me know if you still see me. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? So in case you can still hear me, I was just telling the story about how we came up with our set list and how we stopped actually using one. But that is a process. That is an example of how we actually handled coming up with the songs for the night. We didn't actually do it. It was just something that I would do to read the crowd. So that is an example of a process post. That's going to be different for everyone. And that is going to be something that people would probably be interested to hear. Not that it's like earth shattering, but again, it's just a look inside your process. So the next one is a first time post. And the first time post could be something like the first time you actually performed on stage, or it could be the first time you actually got paid for your art, or the first time that something happened significant to maybe something that related to you performing in a band or something like that. But that first time post will be something that can give context to your audience in terms of maybe you've had some new fans, you've gone to shows, and you're building your fan base and all that stuff, but they only know you from like the last 6 months. They might not know the story about like how you got started. So that is something where you can use like a storytelling post, like this first time post, to give people a little context. And you know what? Even the people that have been, rocking with you for a while, either might not remember or might not know that story too. So think about that as a way to put some context and a way to, you know, come on and actually share some information with your audience that will also give you some nice content that you can share, that they can share, and that will actually help increase the reach on your page, that will also help you reach more fans. So those are just three really brief post, or I should say live stream ideas. The thank you post, which you'd say, hey, thank you for, et cetera, et cetera. A process post, you could say, hey, here's how I da da da. And then the first time post, hey, you know what? The first time that I got on stage was, or the first time that I got paid was blah, blah, blah. So cool. I'm gonna keep going. Good. My screen is swirling around, so I'm glad you said that. Thank you, Kimberly. So if you want, I also have a template for not just these different post ideas, but one of the things that I'm working on is actually a template of like a little script that you can use as little prompts to help you tell your individual story, regardless of what type of post it is. So drop a comment below and just say template in the comments, and I will get you the template. Again, I'm working on things and documents and stuff like that, so I didn't want to wait until all the stuff was shiny and polished and all that stuff. Plus, I'd love to get your feedback as we go. So drop a template in the comments, and I will get that over to you in Messenger. But thank you for hanging out. My screen is still doing the little swirly of death, so thank you for the feedback. But yeah, here are three things that you can use to go on Facebook Live. So drop a comment below if you are watching this on replay. But if you want the template, just let me know you want the template, and I'll get that over to you. And again, this is Leonard with the Indie Band Coach. Thanks so much. You guys have a good evening, and we'll catch up soon. See ya.